I'm Sharon Bill. Welcome to my Music Theory Tuition series where I work with you step by step through the ABRSM Discovering Music Theory grades. I'll work through every single exercise and explain everything you need to know. You can access information about the books I have available to help you on my website. Go to sharonbill.com. For advert-free and longer lessons, you can become a patron at patreon.com/SharonBill. If you can give me a like, that would be super, and please do subscribe to my channel to stay updated. You can support this channel by buying me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/SharonBill. We're moving on to a new chapter about pitch. This is chapter 3, page 17 of the grade 5 Discovering Music Theory workbook, and we're looking at transposing. And I think you'll find this is a really engrossing topic. It's quite tricky at first, however, it's really satisfying once you get used to it. And again, it's okay if you make a few mistakes. It's always better to learn by your mistakes. I know that I always say that, but it's so true. So just work in pencil, and then if something goes a little bit wrong, you can always just erase it. I'll just get mine ready. I'm bound to need it. And have another go, and you'll learn it more thoroughly that way. And so you will need a really thorough knowledge of your key signatures. You can refer to my PDF that's available on my grade 5 section of my website. So have a look for a PDF, and your list of key signatures is there. And also do refer to my video on the circle of fifths, where we work through all of the major and minor key signatures. It's a great little formula, and it saves you juggling lots of information in your head. And so we're going to be moving sections of music or individual notes up and down by particular intervals. And the reason that we do this is because in the orchestra, we have instruments that play in other keys, and of course we all want to play in the same key, so we're going to have to shuffle the music up and down so that we're all playing at the same pitch. It's intervals that can be quite tricky, and we need to be careful because within a scale there are both major and minor intervals. So just because it's in the major scale, it doesn't mean necessarily it's a major interval. And if it's a minor scale, it doesn't necessarily mean every interval is minor. However, there are sort of ways of working around it, and you do get used to it by remembering that major means greater, minor means less, and then of course we've got the perfect intervals as well. So let's work through this together, and I think you'll find that it starts to make sense as we work through. So we're going to be moving intervals in up a perfect fifth or a minor third or a major second, or we'll be going down that way depending on whether we want to rewrite the music or hear what it sounds like at pitch for the relative instruments. And I always suggest that you refer to the piano keyboard, even if you don't play piano, because it's just a great visual aid, and you can see the intervals right there before you instead of just trying to imagine and count. I know that oftentimes people will say, well, can't you just count the semitones? And you can to a point. So we can see, say for example, C to D is a major second, and you could think, well, we've gone up 2 steps, so you could either count 3 steps, 1, 2, 3, or it's better to count 1, 2. However, don't be confused, because that could also be C double sharp, which is represented on a different step on the stave. If I just show you, if we just look at that in treble clef, just before we get entrenched in the topic. So here, let's say we're going from C to D. It's a something second. We've gone 1, 2 steps. And so C to D is not the same as C to C double sharp, which we can see is not a second at all. It's like a chromatic unison, isn't it? And so just counting the semitones doesn't answer all of the questions. So let's see how this unfolds as we work through. Do have a sketch of a piano keyboard. It doesn't have to be a work of art. You can literally just grab a scrap of paper and if this was an exam, you just quickly 2 miss, 1, 2, 3 miss, give yourself another couple of notes. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E. And there you've got your quick visual aid. I mean, perhaps a tiny bit neater than that, but we want to press on and get on with the video. So we're going to look at these intervals below, and we're going to be asked to give subsequent intervals. So we can see that this interval is a major second lower than the first. We're always counting from the lowest note up, so you've got to kind of backwards engineer it, and you can see that from C to D is two steps. Step 1, step 2, and it's a major interval. If it was a D flat, it would be minor because it's been made smaller. Major means greater, minor means smaller. So there's your major second. That's basically just a full step. A tone is a major second. And so here we want a major second from D. So here is D. And so if that is 1, this is 2. It's a full tone, so D to E is a major second higher. If you get the number first, so 1, 2, and then we can adjust the major minor as necessary, we've got half of the job done easily straight away. Now here, we need this interval to be a minor third lower. So let's just think about just the third aspect of that first of all. So here we want to count backwards, 3, 2, 1. There is our third lower. And now we've got to decide if it's a major or a minor. So we want a minor third. Now here, B to D sharp would be major, because we know B major has a key signature of D sharps. And so for it to be minor, we've got to make it smaller. It becomes a D natural, which it already is, and we know that that's correct as it is. Now we want to find a perfect fifth higher. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 takes us to a B. We're in the treble clef. And that is a perfect fifth. If we think from E to B, that's our perfect fifth. Think about your arpeggios. E major arpeggio would be E, G sharp B. E minor arpeggio would be E, G, B. There is our fifth, our perfect fifth. Now from this top F sharp, we need a perfect fifth lower. So let's first of all just get the fifth. We'll worry about the perfect aspect later. But 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 takes us to B. And B to F sharp is a perfect fifth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because that's part of our arpeggio or our major and minor scale. And that's our perfect fifth, exactly as it is. We're moving to bass clef now. We need a major second higher. We're on A. So if A is step 1, B is step 2, there's our full tone, A to B. That would be exactly as it is. That's correct. Now we need a minor third lower. So counting 1, 2, 3, or 3, 2, 1 backwards. And we have D to F. So we have D, we always count the lowest note of the as the tonic. D to F sharp would be major. We know that F sharp is raised because of the key signature of D major has F sharps. Lowered takes us to the F, which is the F part of the D minor scale. If you think D major arpeggio has an F sharp, D minor has the F natural as the third, 1, 2, 3, and so that is already a minor third lower. That's exactly as it should be. So now we need a minor third higher than this note, so we're going to count up from the A. So A is 1, B is 2, C is our third, so we need a ledger line, and A to C is a minor third because we know that A sharp is part of the major scale. For it to be A sharp, it's greater, it's major. We've come from the sharp to the C natural, minor, lesser, and A minor has C naturals in the scale and arpeggio pattern. Now we want a perfect fifth. We're on G. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. G, A, B, C, D. And G to D is our perfect fifth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember, always counting the given note as number 1. And that's correct. And then finally, we're reversing it. So here we've got a D. Here we've gone from G to D. Here we're going from D down to G. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we know that G to D is a perfect fifth. So that's that exercise completed. I hope this is helpful to your studies. Please do like and subscribe to stay updated. If you'd like to support this channel, you can buy me a coffee. And for advert-free lessons, you can become a patron. Do visit my website where you'll find many resources available to help you. Visit sharonbill.com. Thanks for watching. Bye.